Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and this is a care collab. And this is going to be a very difficult care collab, although in one way it's good to put it out there because, hopefully someone with more knowledge and success will share a tip that will help. We're all helping each other. This is the purpose. It's care, collaboration, culture, which is the secret. And thank you, Nina of Ninja, for I do give her credit for the recent resurgence, but this was really started long ago by, I can't remember, it might have been John. I should be able to think of his name. I don't know why I feel so bad, but he's in Barcelona, and it was Roger Frampton, Miss Orchid Girl, Danny, and it was also Rachel gardening at Duensa, and John. Why can't I think? But anyway, my apologies, John. This is a care collab on, their care collab was on Dimorphorcus, which is very special. But this is on Oncidium, or Miltonia, probably that's what it is now. But for me, I will call it Oncidium. But this is a species, and this is Phymatochyllum. Now, my history with this species and Oncidiums in general has been very hot and cold, very love-hate relationship. There are some that I want and some that I crave over the years, and finally, really, after all of the trial and error with Oncidiums in general, me giving up, I really tried with Oncidium, what is it called? It's a species, but it's a cooler, not Hamburgii, but anyway, that doesn't really matter. But in my mind, I had weeded out Oncidiums out of my collection, and this is one of the few that I have kept. And this one I have because I'm really obsessed with it. It is very weird, unique, and the flowers are, besides the musk, the subtly musk fragrance, they are like little octopuses. They're very wavy, and it's almost like they're in motion when you see them on the spike. And the spike is capable of branching, and it's just a funky plant. And another thing that makes it funky is just the way that the pseudobulbs are presented and the way they mature. Now, most of us looking at this plant on a rack would think it was dead, but that is the natural coloration. So if you get this plant and you see the wrinkles, the coloration, that is natural, and that's what is part of the appeal and uniqueness of this plant. Now, this is a species, as I said, it is from Mexico, I believe, but it is from more cooler, hence why it is now been reclassified with Miltonia, which to me says it's one step from Miltoniopsis, which means it is it needs to get some sort of a cool break from heat, although it is a heat tolerant plant. And I have kind of tried to curb my language when I talk about hot and cold, because it's more about the difference in the day versus night temperatures. Oncidiums like that temperature drop because their roots are fine, their foliage and their pseudobulbs are just susceptible to the heat, to drying out, to the sunlight. Lots of factors can influence the health of this plant, which make it a very finicky plant. Trust me, I've had many. This was my last attempt, honestly, but it is so special that, you know, I will never stop obsessing about it. Now, I've never rebloomed this. I've only killed it. I've had this a year, and surprisingly, when I got it, it had this part of the plant, and over the year that I've had it, I think I've had it about a year, and I've not removed it from this mount. It came on this mount, and it has stayed. It has produced this pseudobulb, which has matured nicely through the winter, and it had just recently put out roots. Did not have roots before. I didn't notice the roots last week. As the other people have said, these are susceptible to high light, as I've kind of indicated, and they like to be constantly moist, which makes it, which creates a dilemma, because that's a hard, that's a hard cultural balance. For me, I could not grow it in a pot. I tried it several times with different kind of media, and each time it was the same result. It just died. This is my first attempt. Actually, I tried to get it established, mounted from a pot to a mount, but it didn't get established. And so this was the first plant of Oncidium Phymatochyllum that I bought on a mount. So the first year that I bought it, I was very delicate with it. I did dunk it in water, and in the winter, it sat in the south window under shade cloth, 50% shade, and it got mostly misting. I did not dunk it once. It got misting, but the misting that I gave it was on the sphagnum moss. It wasn't on the plant. Although it did get some foliar, residue of the fog from the mist, but when I was spraying it, I aimed it to the base. In the summer, of course, as you can see, it's outside, and it is in dappled sun, more on the west side of my collection. I did have it, when I first brought it out, hanging down low, and then I moved it over here where it gets really good sun, but it's filtered. As you can see, that it's in the shadow and the shade. And this is about 12, so this is the hottest part of the day, and so it looks really good. Really good. I am not really expecting much. I'm just gonna let it do what it does, and that's what I've been doing, and that's what works for me. Honestly, I have not fertilized prior to this video since about February, the end of February, March. So I did give it lots of fertilizer last year. It got soaking last summer, but it hasn't received any because in the winter I stopped off fertilizer. Anything else? And of course, you all know that the new growths come from the base, and the spikes come from the newly matured pseudobulbs. So, but anyway, folks, make sure you check out the other two videos, Bobby from Cloud Forest Vibes and Yoshi from what is it? Everything. Why am I blocking out? Okay, well, I'll put it up here. Sorry, Yoshi. Anyway, thanks for inviting me, and hopefully this was informative. Enjoy your orchids.